but like even Wawa still sells them. Apparently,
wow.
It's the only spot. Wawa and Racetrack.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
have
know
to
what
make
that
a
is
trip.
down in the States.
And we're live.
I might do it. Folks,
We were
it
sorry.
is Monday.
You just caught us mid Choco Taco conversation if you were here for the beginning of this.
Yes, breaking news.
Breaking news. Here's the thing. It's been a weekend of breaking news, and the hits keep coming. And I just found out that the Choco Taco, my favorite dessert, is getting discontinued. I feel like I've lost a family member. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I feel like I lost a family member I never even met because I haven't even tried the Choco Taco. It's sad.
That's like the seventh most devastating thing to happen this week, you know?
I know.
Yeah.
It's been I'm just going to go through what happened this weekend. Friday, we find Friday we are hit after 4 p.m. Eastern with the craziest news that has ever happened in the history of wrestling, I would say. It's got to be the retirement of Vince McMahon, retiring in disgrace. Retiring in disgrace. Disgrace. Amid the scandal.
Ooh, wait, not that one.
And now, retiring in disgrace amid $14 million scandal, Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Well done on that. Man,
thank you.
This is absolutely crazy.
We're going to dive into that. But then day two, we're then hit with what people are calling the greatest wrestling match of all time. People are calling FTR versus Briscoes 2 greatest wrestling match of all time. Day 3, Jonathan Gresham shouting match quits ROH. And then this morning we find out more nonsense about Vince McMahon. 14.6 or $0.8 million in personal payouts, and also surprise, Triple H is taking over the creative. It is I can't believe. And now the Choco Taco.
And now the Choco
What
Taco.
else are they gonna hit us?
They just had to do this. No. Oh my gosh.
Vince is like, I'm leaving the company and I'm taking the Choco Tacos with me.
It's crazy that this turn of events is like Succession seasons 1 through 3 combined happening. And
I gotta catch up on this show so I can get all.
You just saw it.
Guys.
You just saw it.
Okay.
It happened in real time.
Triple H taking over creative. Triple H is like Kendall and Tom together.
Yeah, as one thing. And Shane McMahon is
Roman.
No, he's who's the one that lives in Arizona and is running for president?
Connor.
He's Connor.
Shane is Connor.
You guys are really into this show.
Yeah, I could probably do a trivia night and win, and at least come up bronze. You've
convinced me to watch it because I want to get all your little jokes. So I'm gonna start on it.
It's the same thing as this. That's the thing.
The weird part about it is it feels like Succession is what should be happening in real life, and WWE should be the TV show.
Yeah.
But they're flipped because it's first off, I can't believe they got him. Let's get into this. Vince McMahon.
They got him.
He wasn't going to retire ever. He was
ever.
Going to go to his grave as the owner. There was no doubt in anybody's mind about that. And he had no choice but to step down. There was so much backlash upon this entire thing, all of the allegations. It got to a point where it's too much to have someone like that representing your company. You just can't. You can't at all. But to actually step down and do it with a single tweet, and then that's supposedly it. That
5 minutes after the stocks closed.
5 minutes after the stocks closed. Yeah. It apparently worked out in their favor. John Thompson, though, Choco Taco is overrated. I'm gonna see you in a barbed wire all over the world match, sir. You watch. How dare you?
Watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth. Be respectful in our home.
Like Alicia was saying, And like our entire first episode of this iteration of this show was about. It was like our general consensus was like, I don't know if anything's actually going to stick from this. Just historically, these things, I mean, obviously it wasn't the same, but these types of scandals would happen. And even with this one, a couple of weeks later, nobody was really talking about it.
No.
And then the other Wall Street Journal thing came out. And then somebody somewhere found something.
And it was this.
It was this.
$14.6 billion in personal payouts. We don't even know
That's
what they're for
baffling.
yet.
Baffling.
They haven't even gone through what the payouts are for. And that, like, it's like you pointed out yesterday, Colin. He was like, guys, randomly, I think it's time for me to retire.
This is super random for me, but like, what if I retired like today
Immediately.
in like 5 minutes after this coming hour?
Dude,
The crazy.
Go
Go
for
ahead.
it.
I was gonna say the craziest thing is I was on a flight, and then the moment I landed, my phone was blowing up from friends, wrestlers within the business. Just so many people writing me. Did you see this? Did you see this? Because I wasn't replying. Then I opened Twitter, and it's going off.
Oh,
Everyone's
everywhere.
either rejoicing. I mean, I didn't see anything that was, a positive reaction to him, or a negative reaction to him retiring. So it's one
Oh.
of those things where I was just, oh my goodness, what is happening? I'm catching up. I'm trying to see what went down. I saw the number come out about everything, and then I was trying to wrap my head around, okay, they haven't even distinguished what that was towards. It could have been so much more than we ever thought. The whole thing is really hard to wrap your head around, but it was the right decision in terms of if you want this company to stay around and continue to thrive, especially with the losses that they've had over the last few years financially. Yeah, you had to make that cut. You had no choice at all.
And then Stephanie's crazy segment on Friday on SmackDown, where they're like, "Thank you, Vince."
Oh, the
part.
chants, the forced chants. Yeah. It's rough. I mean, what are you supposed to do? What is she supposed to do in that
I know.
situation?
Like, that's her literal dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sure it's not easy for her either, any of it. So
no way.
I don't know.
Also, before today, here's the thing. On Friday, when this happened, after like listening to a million news, whatever's discussions, I was dead positive. I was like, okay, how I think this is gonna go is they're not going to be able to build a star strong enough to get their stocks and ratings up enough to to where the shareholders
You
want.
thought this was a ploy for Vince to be like, the stocks plummeted and ratings are down, I got to come back.
I thought that was minimum. I don't even know if it was a ploy. I think it was he was a little confident that would happen. And I was like, I don't know if they can build a creative that'll work, but they literally, Vince can't come back after this, the $14 million. That is way too much money. That's insane. That is like a literal crime. And like
it is a life-changing amount of money 14 times.
Yeah.
It's like minimum.
Way to put it.
Yeah. And then here's the thing, with the news of Triple H in front of creative, the stocks went up.
Which, like, peripherally, if you're on this board or a shareholder, you're gonna see that and be like,
that's the guy.
I guess we're going with this.
Yeah, it's like, it's an improvement. Let's roll with it. I mean, what are you going to say at that point? It's still WWE, and you have to keep that within your mind because these fans aren't going to go away. We saw them all still chanting on that forced chant. So it's one of those strange things where there's still the demand. It's not going to go away, but at least under new management and ownership, there's potential for people to not forgive, previous people who are cling to it, but by all means still accept and love it now. It's almost like an excuse. Oh, we're fine now to continue watching it because he's out. And the other thing too, speaking to what Jordan was saying in terms of him not being able to come back because of that number, the other reason you can't come back is simply because, can you imagine like the pride in that just being completely soul crushing? Like you can't come back. It's so embarrassing after announcing your retirement at that age and then coming back with all this stuff going on. Like it's impossible.
But doesn't that just sound like something he would do?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. You got me, maybe.
It's also wrestling. Like,
Yeah.
dude, how many? Ric Flair is retiring for the 17th time this weekend. Like it doesn't matter to them. And the thing is, they also got my ass. I'm going to this grocery store after this, finding the last Choco Tacos in that grocery store, and I'm watching Raw. I
have to see what.
I have to see it.
If it's the same show,
incredible.
That would be insane.
That would be
if the
so
show ends
funny.
and everybody's just like, holy shit, that was terrible. That would be like, I feel like stocks are going straight back down. But if
because you're not proving anything's
Exactly.
changed at that point. There's
Exactly.
even with the new direction, what's changed? They have to do something tonight that's gonna be like, oh shit, they're back. Like, let's rock and roll.
Absolutely.
There's nothing. If it's cool, awesome. If it sucks, also awesome.
Hilarious.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
If it sucks, I'm the amount of pressure that's on Triple H right now to pull an amazing show out of his ass with only like half the roster, like not even half of the like none of the guys. Randy Orton's still not there. All the other guys that are like it's fucking on.
Two comments here. HHH has to open the show tonight. Agree. He could open the show with a 30-minute promo, and it would be like, it would feel appropriate. And EJ Movement says, well, it might still be the same show. No, change isn't overnight. Change is instant in these fucking shows. Vince is notorious for ripping up the script at 7 or 8:59 p.m. the minutes before the show.
I've heard those stories firsthand where everything's called ready to go and bam, he just rips it right out from everybody. So yeah, I think in that regard, it'll be really interesting and a change, but also at the same time, you could see when he was more in charge, especially when the takeover was happening, more NXT stuff in specific. Like he was pushing so many more of the big guys, the Ultimate Warrior looking guys, the big 80s builds. So it might be interesting too to see other people get more of a push because now Triple H is back in charge, and he also loves younger talent so much. So
he's got his guys.
Exactly.
We're gonna see like Finn Balor is gonna look like a Super Saiyan tonight. He's got it.
Yeah, I saw a take that was like, if Finn Balor is champion anytime soon, you'll know exactly who was against him.
Right.
Alicia, how long have you been at MLW?
I've been with MLW coming up on 3 years in December.
Okay,
now.
so Bruce was gone by the time you got there?
Yeah, he was, but one of my closest colleagues now got to work with him for a hot minute doing commentary and whatnot. She said the experience, as controversial as things can be once in a while, she was like, man, when he talks, he knows how to talk and put stuff over.
I genuinely love his podcast. I don't know his like ability to book creative. So
I don't.
So
I've met
clearly
him before and everything, but no, I don't know that aspect at all. Be interesting.
Clearly Triple H was. Who else is as qualified to do this here? Because his era of NXT is like legendary wrestling storytelling at this point.
It thrived, so it's been proven that he can fill the position. It's just a matter of people to work with. It's all new clay to model and everything. So that's where it's like, oh, this could get like very cool very quickly.
I will legitimately say, like, Lucha Underground aside, like we all know that I'm a Lucha Underground stan.
You're the last remaining.
I will fucking ride for Lucha Underground. I'm taking it to the grave, baby. But other that aside, 2015 to 2017, 2018 NXT is my favorite period of wrestling. Truly,
Wow,
I
that's like a bold statement.
fucking loved it. I don't know a lot of older stuff, but watching those, like the string of takeovers, like that era, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Every takeover rocked my shit. I now expect it raised the expectation for what wrestling had to be. Like, not just, it was competing with New Japan, but like, dude, every match was on fire.
Well, from a booking perspective, Triple H was displaying like a very basic understanding of like the main thing you have to do when booking is to book a feud or to book a big match for a show. Vince McMahon would put those fucking guys together in 5 matches in a row with like shitty finishes until the real finish at this one. Maybe. And Triple H is like, okay, keep these guys apart, keep these guys apart, keep these guys apart, let them explode. And that's like, it's all you have to do is just make us, the royal us, want to see the match. And like,
we have to be invested.
Gotta be
100%.
invested. You can't invest by seeing it 15 times.
No, at that point, I just want something new, and my brain goes from wanting to invest in the storyline to just being over with it, like almost angry at it. So
Exactly.
The fact that there's a chance to be watching something that's actually refreshing in WWE, especially, like they got a lot to live up to over the next couple weeks, and I'm excited to see what they can do because they've proven in the past with these people in charge they can do it. So I don't see why that's gonna skew this time around.
I think a key thing about Triple H, like I think the magic of him as a showrunner and a booker was, especially in a developmental territory, is he knew exactly how to help his wrestlers with whatever they needed. When he saw what their weakness was, he's the only booker who would be like, okay, let's get this person a writer. You don't need writers? Get the writers out of there. He knows how to. There's like, I love AEW. Tony Khan doesn't do that. If a motherfucker is suffering on promos, that motherfucker suffers.
They either eventually get a manager or
no, they're gonna continue to cut shitty promos. It never gets better.
Like, you gotta
and they just
help
keep letting them on television. You gotta point out the weak points and try to develop those further. And that's within any company, whether it's a minor or a major one.
It's just
and
wrestling.
You can see that they do exactly.
It's the only time I've like seen a guy watch what happens and then go like, I know how to help you, and he helped them and they got better. Like look at Bianca Belair. Like, she didn't come out the gate like really good at promos, and like she had like, it was hard for her at the beginning. Like, she was super athletic and could do a lot of cool shit, but she was nervous. She has the fucking braid gimmick, which is hard to like get the timing down when you have to like hold your braid and shit.
Some of that stuff is wild, man.
Like,
some of the stuff she's hitting while holding that fucking braid,
it's nuts. But she couldn't do it like fantastically every time. Of course not.
I can't hold 2 objects and like remember which object is in each hand. Like, I'm walking inside with my keys and a water bottle, and I'll like go to put down one and just drop the other.
I love how relatable that is. I'm with you on that.
For sure.
Yet she's doing 450s with a fucking 50-pound braid in her hand.
Long braid in her hand. It's impressive. You're right. I've never even thought of it that way.
She's fucking unbelievable. But I don't think she gets there without a person paying attention to like help her get to this person,
have you ever heard like
spot?
Even the AEW guys who were in NXT, all of those people speak so highly of Triple H still, and like their whole thing is that they work with him or work in that system, and they're like, say what you will about it, but I am better because of it.
And that's the beauty,
Totally.
though, because it feels like for a while when it came to developmental there, you didn't see much of a change for a hot minute. And then now with him being back in charge, it's like, oh, maybe people can actually grow again. This would be nice. It's like, can you imagine being in a band and someone fucking sucks at something, and then all of a sudden no one's like, hey, you need to adjust this just a little bit? Like, I couldn't imagine being a boss, seeing someone struggle and not trying to help them. That's the whole point, is to thrive as a whole.
Totally. Like Triple H would keep people off TV for 3 years and keep them in the system. You know, look at Braun Strowman. How long was he in that system as a fucking rosebud before he debuted?
Yeah.
Like he knew just don't do anything with this person yet. But with the new NXT, it's like you're seeing these people progress sometimes like on live TV week to week. And it's just I feel bad for them.
Well, look at like I read about I forget his fake name, like Eli
Drake, LA Knight,
Eli Drake was his old name.
That's his old name? Yeah, he like there was a story that like he's an incredible promo. He's literally a person like Triple H,
Alicia knows something we don't know. She just made a funny face.
Oh no, it's all good. Keep going. I'll chime in.
Oh, okay.
No, well, I don't know anything about him as a thing or whatever. Like, he might be a weird guy. He might have done a bad thing. I don't know, but
he's a great promo. Isn't he, Alicia?
He's a great promo. But then, apparently, the story is Vince, when he's coming up with this new character, was like, "Okay, stop talking like that. Don't do your thing." Like, made him be a completely different character, and that he was like, dude, this is like this is the thing I know how to do, and you want me to not specifically not to do it?
It's so stupid. Like when I watch those segments, I just cringe because I worked with him in so many companies. When he was Eli Drake, had him on my show. The charisma that man carries, it's like phenomenal. You can just feel it.
He's the last thing that worked.
He's so
in that dying NXT. Like it was like, man, this sucks, but he's amazing.
He's so good at being a mouthpiece, and so many people suck at being mouthpieces in wrestling. So when you find that, like, let them ride that wave. That's one less person you have to actually not teach how to speak. And now when I'm watching this stuff that's going on, I'm like, man, this just like, I don't know what he thinks on it all. I don't talk to him frequently, but that must just suck.
He's out of it.
Pissed. He's out because he was stop. He's like, dude, I know how to talk in wrestling. It's like one of the things that I do, and you're telling me to literally have different diction, and that's completely insane.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. There are There's two comments in here that we need to look at. I hope Vince starts a podcast with Conrad.
It'll never happen.
I would pay.
It won't, but
I would pay $100 a month to subscribe to that and just hear stuff.
You won't get. Here's the thing. It might happen, but like, look, he's not going to tell you.
Dude,
anything.
what does he have to lose? He might as well be narrating the shit that he's done on Dark Side of the Ring at this point.
That's also true. I mean,
enough.
So much stuff out there.
Here's the thing.
Still showed face.
This is all we know so far.
Yeah.
Think about the weird. Like, I heard a story about how, like, him and he like challenged an announcer in a rental car to a race, and they raced, and he tried to drive him literally off the road. Almost
this is why we need a podcast.
I know. Give me the
he
podcast.
Won't talk about that. He didn't tell anybody that. The guy who almost died did.
Conrad, Vince, send me your cash apps. I'll pay you directly. Let's go. Other one.
Here's what I will pay for the podcast where everyone gets to talk about Vince and doesn't get in trouble. I want anyone.
There's no trouble anymore. It's over. He's gone. The Wicked Witch is dead.
I want everyone else to do that then. Just
wait.
Go off.
But who calls Vince for his first non-WWE booking?
Well, oh my gosh, I kept seeing all these wrestling fans post the whole like Vince McMahon is all BS. So I'm like, oh my god, this
Oh
is
my god,
ridiculous.
that would be
That would be wrestling's biggest swerve
ever
of all time.
if they did the Bischoff
all
story,
time.
like Vince is the
Yes.
general manager of Dynamite.
Oh my gosh, wrestling would just be set off.
That would be fucked.
Couldn't even imagine.
I will say the thing that I'm worried about in this is I think because we have to remember that while Triple H is in charge of NXT and he's going up against Dynamite, they fucking got spanked in the ratings. It went down. I think that we're seeing AEW, the ratings are not growing. They're not going up the way
they're consistent though.
Well,
they're consistent.
They're consistent, but I think what that shows is that maybe to a public audience and maybe to these shareholders, good wrestling and storytelling might not be enough sometimes. And maybe I have a theory, like the thing that the thing that WWE really will lose is the backstage being more interesting than the actual show.
It'll at least be more silly.
It will be. Here's the thing. I am genuinely going to miss
the egg.
I am sad. Dude, there's not going to be a pay-per-view based around an egg for no reason.
Yeah.
I'm here for that. Are you serious? That was my favorite thing of
yeah,
last year.
but here's the thing. That was our favorite thing of last year, Jordan, right?
Right.
We didn't fucking even watch it. We watched clips. We did not tune in live. Like, I gotta watch see about that.
If they told me,
amazing.
I watched it the next day. If they told me there's gonna be a whole plot line around an egg, I would have watched.
He's in immediately. No turning back.
If you would have been like, everyone is gonna have like Vince McMahon is if the pre was like if it leaked out like Vince is writing Survivor Series around an egg. He's writing a scene where he's forcing all of the wrestlers to watch him get out of his car and stare at his egg. I would have watched immediately.
Fun. Here's the thing that it's not fair yet to compare, like, to say the ratings of the two shows. NXT head to head with Dynamite, yeah, it didn't work out. But like NXT obviously didn't have Raw and SmackDown's resources, whereas AEW doesn't have the household name aspect of WWE yet. Like if I'm in the grocery store,
right?
Like straight up, somebody asked me like, "What did you write this song for?" And I was like, "I wrote it for AEW," and they've like seen wrestling before, and they're like, "What's that?"
Right. Totally.
It's usually
I have to explain
what do you do?
Yeah.
Exactly. What do you do? I'm a host in wrestling. Oh, like WWE. It's the constant, instant name that comes to mind for everybody.
So that'll happen. That's gonna happen over time. But they for not having that yet, between DVR and cable ratings and streaming and stuff, they're hitting over 1 million every week, and I think that's pretty good.
Are they? They're like just under.
They're
like averaging 8.
That's Nielsen, brother. That's Nielsen only. That don't count like international streaming and all that. And their UK numbers are like, I think their UK numbers are bigger than WWE, or at least comparable.
All right,
I will trust you on that.
I don't work for them.
I don't know for myself.
This is an unbiased thing. This is
we literally objective. Work for them sometimes.
No, but that's for free. That's free labor. That's free labor. Okay, that's not. That ain't.
It's free. We're getting
that's for us. We ain't working for them. That's for the resume, brother. We ain't.
Yeah.
We ain't commissioned.
Yeah, this is for the LinkedIn profile.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
But I know it's not fair to compare. I just think that it's going to be interesting to watch. Like, if the show gets a lot better and makes more sense, is it going to lead to a more successful business model, or was the actual chaos and blatant marketing and fuck it, get like just put Brock Lesnar in it for no reason. Like, is the blatant marketing and insanity and just fuck it, go ahead, fuck it, we'll do it live mentality behind it, like, did that drive attention? Did that help the business?
It helped the TV deals, which at the end of the day is all that matters anymore.
Right.
Yeah,
but
people love gimmicks. People love things where you watch and you're like, that's batshit crazy. Why did this happen? Even if it's something or a promotion you don't care about. The amount of times where I'll see something, it's a promotion I don't watch frequently. Let's say even in India, I'm like, they did what? You have to check it out. And they have so many moments like that work. Now with him being gone, are they going to still carry things that are as crazy? Even when you mentioned the egg, yeah, I think they will, because they're not. I hope that dumb to just be like, nah, we can't anymore. You know, it's wrestling. They're going to continue.
You have to think that with a
I'm
poor
so
quality, it's been a poor quality show for about 4 years. Would
Longer,
you say?
probably.
And it's been like completely consistent ratings wise, like a few lows, a couple highs. Attendance is great for the big shows.
Yeah.
They're selling out 2 nights of WrestleMania. You have to think, if the show improves, the audience reception is going to improve. The critical reception is going to improve, which is going to make everything better. The stocks was step 1, but the stocks going up is like steps 1 through 50. Cause that's
right.
Like, if they had gone down, it would be like, that's all I need. That's all the ammo I needed. They got it.
Yep.
I'll come back. Don't worry. I'm excited.
I am excited. Are you excited,
Change.
Alicia?
I love change.
Change is awesome.
Good. Honestly, it's one of those things where it can be scary. You can love something so much, and then it gets ripped away from you, or something changes, and you're like, damn, I got to deal with this now. But it can be the best thing ever. So I'm hoping like I kind of mentioned before, the previous work that we've seen both Steph and Triple H do, I don't think it's gonna get worse by any means, because they'd really have to fuck it up for it to get worse. So
it's gonna get better. I'm gonna be probably just like one of the few people who's gonna miss the insanity.
Those things won't. The train wrecks for sure are hopefully gone. But the egg, there will be
train wrecks, I think.
There will be egg adjacent things, you know.
I'm
gonna miss.
Thank you.
I'm gonna miss like I will miss a because, like, I don't think that anyone else will make a decision that makes no sense. I am gonna miss watching a show where I'm like, this was written with dementia, or it's like, I will miss like someone doing David Lynch not on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will mourn it a little bit, but it's of course better. Of course it's better. Let's move on to talking about FTR versus the Briscoes. Did either of y'all watch this?
Oh yeah.
I've seen clips only. Yeah, I had a feeling that you'd watch the entire thing. No, for me, it's been like the craziest schedule over here.
Totally.
But I was able to watch some clips. I'm like, man, like, this is why I still tune in, because some days you watch wrestling, you're like, fucking hell, please, like, why do I love this? Why? What's wrong with me? And then when you watch stuff like that, you're like, they bring it. And I love the Briscoes. Like, that's where my heart's at in that match. Seeing them do so many things on the indies and then crushing it in the tag team division and ROH for however many years they've been there, like
holding it down by themselves.
Long ass time. Exactly. So seeing that, and the fact that, like, yes, they have their like buzz, that was thrilling. That's thrilling to know.
This was okay. So I just saw Top Gun Maverick a couple times in theaters recently.
Oh boy!
And both times it ended, I said, "This is why you go to the movies." That's just that kind. You haven't seen it yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God, you got to see it before it leaves theaters for one. But that's a whole other topic.
Fun.
This FTR versus the Briscoes 2 to me was I had the same feeling as when Top Gun Maverick ended, where I said, this is why you watch wrestling. You know, it was like, because so many matches will start and it'll be 5-10 minutes in, and I'll just think, man, I really just wish these wrestlers would wrestle.
Yeah, I'm very thankful for the fast forward button nowadays when I watch wrestling. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a thing.
It's sad to say.
Yeah.
It's sad to say, but it's the truth.
But these motherfuckers just beat the shit out of each other.
And it was go, go, go from like the clips I saw and whatnot. It didn't seem like they took crazy breaks. They weren't trying to draw things out. You didn't see people catching their breath for like 5 minutes ringside. Like it was actually a match.
I genuinely didn't even realize how long it had been when it was over.
Right. I also did. From the I felt a little bit of lag until the first. I was like excited, and then I dipped a little bit, and then they hit the first fall, and then it was
off.
But that's always how it is. When you do I love a Colin and I love a gimmick. We love a ladder.
Gimmick.
We love love the motherfucking elimination chamber. We're riding for Choco Tacos and the elimination chamber on this show.
Choco Taco presents
the Geico Elimination Chamber, presented by Klondike.
That's where I would watch. I would pay $3,000
a month.
You're giving away so much money during this show. You gave 100 to the podcast. Now $3,000 for that.
I'm down $3,100. But I'm seeing what I like, I'm simple.
Yeah, well worth the investment, obviously.
We ride for multi-fall match. I love a multi-fall match.
Oh, please give me any stipulation. It's so much fun.
And so the drama of this, I love. I just, it's instantly exciting when there's a fall and oh shit, there's another fall.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not the only one. I'm so in for it.
You know what's so awesome though? When there's a fall and then never another one and it just fucking ends or something.
Oh my God.
Oh,
the best match I've maybe ever seen is the Iron Man match with Kurt and Brock.
Oh my God.
That's the greatest. That's literally the best booking I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
Do you know about this match, Alicia?
Yeah, I do actually. And I'm glad that you brought that. No, I'm glad you brought that up though, because when you think about matches like that and this tag team match, the ones that actually go, go, go and don't make your subconscious just drift off and you're like, oh shit, like I gotta rewind. Nothing's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are really rare to find. It's kind of like those, it's a cheesy phrase, like those barn burners that you wait for every single time.
Yep.
And that's hard to replicate. So again, too, like curious to see if the third time, like I'm down.
I'm in.
Give me a third one. Yeah. Let the Briscoes win them back.
I guess so.
And maybe with another crazy stipulation too, because you know that those guys are insane. And
they'll do anything. Yeah.
I love when they do ladder matches so much.
I'm probably the only one in the show who's like not the biggest Briscoes fan.
Okay.
Mostly not for the controversial reasons, but also they represent
they've atoned for that, man.
I know
they did their time.
That aside, but they also represent they have to work harder for me because I get into wrestling, through the New Day and drag. They represented a part of wrestling that was like a reason that I didn't watch it. Like Ring of Honor.
It's crazy because they're from the best era of wrestling. Like independent wrestling saving wrestling. It was like when the Briscoes were popping off.
I know,
to me.
But I just look. I like when it was all Godsmack font and
fuck yeah
and whatnot. It's not for me. It's not.
They're post Godsmack.
Yeah,
I'm Briscoes all fucking day, dude.
Yeah,
I'm saying
they're always entertaining.
They are literally always entertaining. They always win me the fuck over. They're so talented. The shit they do, dude. And I'm fucking all in on Redneck Kung Fu. That shit is amazing. Whenever they let out a yelping hi-ya and do a karate chop, I'm fucking in.
They signed multi-year Ring of Honor deals, which is great to hear.
Good for them. Good
want
for
them. I
them.
want them paid.
Yeah.
Get them boys paid.
Exactly. But yeah, masterpiece. This match, just a work of art.
The last thing we got to talk about is Jonathan Gresham.
Yeah, like what
Quitting
the
in a
hell,
heat.
right?
What do you think, Alicia?
I mean, I think the moment fans saw just the demeanor, the tone that was set for the whole match, coming out without, of course, the whole octopus getup, like that he hasn't done that in ages. Even on the indies, he had to loan a card of this substance, right? So something was going on. The match was pretty, blasé afterwards. Really short, obviously.
10 minutes, right?
Yeah, like not a ton happened. The whole thing just felt off. And then after seeing that and then hearing everything that went down, coming out in a t-shirt, like the whole thing was just crazy to me.
Boo boo face. All around boo boo
yeah.
face. Yeah.
Like, I really don't know I'm curious what was the one thing that triggered him that much to be like, fuck it. I really don't care to this point. Was it the fact that he was dropping the title? Was it the fact, like, I don't know.
I hope not. I really hope not.
I hope not. Me too. And I don't know anything. I haven't heard anything. I haven't looked into it. I'm just kind of speaking from what I'm wondering, like what the fuck happened.
You gotta. It's another thing where
that hard. I heard it was like a yelling match. So I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know. But you gotta
allegedly.
Allegedly, exactly. You gotta think like peripherally here, and I'm sure he's the only person who would not look at it this way. Claudio being ROH champion is like maybe the biggest no-brainer booking decision ever. Like this universally beloved guy who's never been a world champion anywhere, who is an ROH legend. Like, I understand that it adds up. And I understand that Gresham like held the title down while the promotion was dead, but like
titles change in wrestling.
Right. Titles change.
Happens.
He's defending it in the Indies. He's defending it at fucking Barnesville Wrestling Federation. That's not. That doesn't change the fact that like this way to go creatively is right there.
I think it's a combination of a lot of things. I think the creativity of it, like I think he literally wins the title, and immediately the entire organization does not exist. He doesn't get to have it for one taping, not anything. And he's carrying the title for 3 years.
No, it wasn't.
And he
3
does.
years.
It's the whole.
That was 300 days.
Pandemic.
It was only 300 days.
Yeah,
no, ROH.
A little more than that.
No, it was around 300 days.
Okay, it's a couple. All right. Well, okay. So just a long
less
time.
than a year.
Okay. Regardless, just like he wins it, and then
everything goes to shit, pretty much.
Everything goes to shit.
Sucks.
He's like he's like literally trying his best. He gets, then when the promotion gets bought, he's told, all right, you're gonna heel turn. You're gonna be just like one of the guys in the stable. Also, we're selling your stable off from that guy. You're gonna like.
Yeah, Tully's gone already.
Tully's gone. You're bought by like that gimmick sounds motherfucking hilarious. I love the concept of like the Nigerian prince emails as a wrestler. Sounds great.
Legendary.
Money, legendary, but a lower card gimmick. He's like he's heel without his thing getting dropped. Like and immediately on the first big show, like he's dropping it. No story.
The second big show, on the first big show, he got to unify the title against Bandito in this big, beautiful moment.
That's true.
It's true. I think he maybe wanted like.
I'm just saying.
No, listen. I get it. I think that it's a combination of feeling like underbooked, and also he is a guy. He is a guy who's he's got to deal with his body shaming online, and honestly, not a lot of people go to bat for him. Like, people go to bat for the Eddie Kingstons and
the Adam Coles and whatnot. Yeah,
Adam Coles. People defend them to the ages, but a lot of wrestling fans, especially like Ring of Honor has old motherfucking wrestling fans.
Mhm.
Like they're old school.
Different
I've never-
mentality a lot.
I go to a Ring of Honor show every time. I've been to 2 of them. There's homophobia abound in the crowd. Like not with the cast or anybody who puts together the show. Those people are lovely, but they got a certain type of fan. So there's not a lot of people. He's just dealing with a lot of negativity of being like an like a short guy, and then also it's wrestling. It's 7 years behind at minimum. There's racism for it. Like I think it was a combination of a lot of shit and a lot of work, and
But
him
do you
like
think that was the way to go about it, rather than like kind of weather the storm?
I mean, I think I think a person like him probably. I mean, here's the thing. I don't know his experience. I can't imagine how difficult it is for a lot of people. I do know that I'm not saying anything. It's just that there are now like on the outskirts of this new company, there are like 4 recently released pissed off like black wrestlers. It's just
Yeah, we don't know the interworkings of that or what was said, obviously.
I'm not getting. I'm just saying that it's just. I think that I'm not talking about like AW and our. I'm saying in general.
No, of course, yeah.
There are just. I think it's just hard to be a black wrestler, and we just don't really. And I think that like when I hear that someone has hit their limit, and they have to deal, and they're a person who's just automatically been through more than me, I'm like, I get it. I think there's something that we just don't know about why he popped off. But I get it. I feel bad for Tony because he got yelled at for making a booking decision that completely, absolutely, you have to put it on.
For making a great booking decision.
Like,
at somebody's like temporary creative expense. But it's like, how often does that happen in wrestling? Anytime somebody loses, somebody's creative expense is taken temporarily.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we've seen a lot of, I think depending on how you do it,
because they aren't quitting the same day. The next day they come out on the show and they go, "Hey, yeah, I fucking lost, but I'll kick your ass," you know? And that's like that you I don't know. I can't judge the guy. I don't know him. I don't know his situation. But
yeah, that's the thing. I don't know the situation. I know how I'd react, but again, I'm not everyone else. So
yeah, I'm not. It could have been a combination of just. It could have honestly been a combination of all the stuff that we do know, like tons of negativity and being told that you're dropping the title, you're going into a stable of lower card guys, and him feeling like, fuck, I gotta do this again. I gotta crawl up this ladder again. I had a ticket to just be at the top for fucking once, at least start at the top. So when I could be on TV at the top. I think on paper, Jonathan Gresham absolutely does not have a problem dropping the title to Claudio, who is a fucking hero. I think he wanted a shot to just be like, can I just be on the top for a fucking
just let me be
minute?
Like an actual champion for
I
second.
be a champion on television before
which is a valid thought. You know, if that was like the main reason though for everything, and it wasn't about the negativity and whatnot, then like I don't think that's the way to go about it. But at the same time,
he hurt his career forever by popping off.
It's not a good reputation. It's not a good quality to have professionally. But at the same time, maybe something was said to him that poked the bear, and he was like, "No, I'm not being disrespected that way." Could have been something else too.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's maybe not. I think it's maybe not as simple as like him just thinking he's the shit. I think it's literally just him going like, fuck, dude, I just worked so hard to be. I was at the top of the card and I never got to be here for all 300 of these days. I never really got to be at the top of the card, and you're going to make me crawl up it again. That's even that I kind of get to
Sure.
a certain extent. Like
At
just
like
to climb the ladder at the company you've already been to.
At what point, if the argument of like, why aren't people connecting with me? At what point is it your fault? You know?
Totally.
I'm so glad you brought that up, by the way.
Because if that's half the problem, like he did a couple AEW matches, they were good, but they were pretty quiet. And yeah, maybe it's because of the way he was presented or booked or something, but ultimately that's like a lot of it's up to you. And I'm a Ring of Honor guy, you know, like I watched Gresham's whole rise to win that. I was totally invested in that. So I feel disappointed. I don't think it's fair to compare this to the like Sasha and Naomi stuff. I don't think it's the same type of situation at all.
No, no, it's not.
But yeah, I feel a lot of what you just said, Jordan, is like pretty inarguable. Like you're just like, it's just like scientifically correct. So I'm not, I got nothing to say there. So
we don't fuck with science.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that. I don't have any degrees. So I feel bad for the guy. I get he was hurt by it, but this is like
he fucked up.
Wrong business.
He really fucked up.
Yeah, it's business, you know. It's like it sucks. Do I feel bad for him? Not necessarily. Like it sucks to be in that position. It sucks to deal with negativity. Man, people call me shit every damn day. I couldn't imagine popping off on my boss, no matter if I got the worst news ever that I was fired. Like it's just if you do one thing, it spreads like wildfire. You can half the time not swear without somebody knowing. Like it's just stupid nowadays. So you really have to watch how you act because that will stick with you for forever.
Your next boss is gonna know what you said to your last
100%, 100%. It's so unfortunate. Like, and the whole situation sucks. That's where I feel for the guy. But in terms of the outcome and the arguments and everything we've kind of heard, it's like, that was your choice to react that way in a sense. So I don't know.
Well said.
Yep.
On that note, well, I guess we got to say goodbye and then transition into our next thing. Is that right, Jordan?
Do. Yeah, folks. Thank you so much for. If you are not watching this show live and you're watching just the next day, you can see this next segment in Reels. Have fun with the Reels. Thank you for joining us. We'll be here next Monday.
Bye.